Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode here of Top of the Card right here on Ad-Free Shows and the Ad-Free Shows YouTube. I am referee Brandon Toll, and we are doing our first installment of what I like to call the Collector's Corner. What I've learned over the past couple of years is, people within the wrestling industry that are actually big card collectors. People are coming out of the woodwork that have a link to either collecting or to the hobby, the wrestling hobby specifically in some point. So for our first episode, I want to bring on someone who we go back, I think, to the Dragon Gate USA days.
Oh, yeah.
That's a throwback. So
The Philadelphia times.
Yeah, smoke him if you got him. Lucha Lit, Lince Dorado. Lince, thank you so much for joining me, my friend.
Hey, man, appreciate it, Brandon. Hey, and thank you for adding that Lucha Lit, baby.
Yeah. So fresh off your appearance on AEW a couple weeks ago, congratulations on your AEW debut.
Appreciate it.
So
it was much better than the ones that I've always been seeing, but I'm a smart man, so I wanted to get in there at the right place, right time. So
yeah, we hope to see you back there here in the future. So you and I go back to the Dragon Gate USA in the Evolve days. So those early Philadelphia days. What else can I think of? Oh, the Cruiserweight Classic stuff in 15, what was it, 16, I think? Was that
16? Yep, 2016.
16, we had those qualifying matches and all those showcase matches that we had leading into the initial Cruiserweight Classic. So yeah, we go back. So backstory for everyone watching here. Let's kick it back to Dallas about a year and a half ago, WrestleMania weekend, Dallas. Lince and I saw each other for the first time, probably since right before you signed with WWE for the inception of 205 Live, actually. And had some cards, and we found out that we both were avid card collectors. So I think we spent more time talking cards than we did talking about wrestling that day.
I didn't think I sold any merch that day. Me and you were trying to talk cards, and then I was also trying to get my Undertaker card signed, the rookie card. And that was my mission all last year. I was like talking to you. I was talking to Cardona and Myers, and then me and you were talking, and then all of a sudden, it was like one thing led to another. I never got him to sign it that day. But I ended up getting him to sign it another day, we'll talk about this later because that story is absolutely crazy.
We got to, because I actually I actually met the Undertaker for the first time last year, actually, at Rick's retirement show in Nashville when I was reffing on it. So that was a whole thing. So yeah, we'll hear that. So let's start from the beginning. How did you get into card collecting? Kind of give us the beginning of it.
Yeah, for me, honestly, so I didn't have a lot of childhood memories that were great, but one of the things that I do remember was like collecting Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards. There was wrestling cards at that time. There was Japanese wrestling cards at that time that I was collecting, that some of my friends, somehow, I don't even know how they got it. I never asked, but I was just so happy that I got them, bro. I had a Cactus Jack. I had a Sabu FMW card. Like, I wish I had that now. I'm still in the search, and I'm sure I could find it, but like, if it was the original one from my childhood, that would have been awesome. So yeah, I ended up collecting, and as a child, legit, like when Pokemon and all that stuff came out, you're kind of young. Sometimes things are going to be valuable, sometimes you don't, because if you're if you're a card collector, like, you either love it or you're in it for selling. And for me, man, like, those things were invaluable, but I ended up having to sell them in college for most of them, and thinking like, oh well, I could always go back and get them. But I also knew that I was going to get signed. I manifested that. So I was like, when I do get signed, I'm going to go back and get all the Pokemon cards and all the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, all the wrestling cards that I never or lost or never had, and restart it from there. So that's kind of how it came into fruition, and driven since probably, honestly, maybe the last 5 years. I ended up just going super ham into the card collecting business.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing, because I know for me recently, I've been looking into a lot of those early ones. Like, I saw someone had a box of 1998 BBM from Japan, and it has the actual Edge, what we qualify as the Edge and Christian rookie, and it's them together. And I know someone that had a seal box going for it. So I know those FMW cards, they're out there and they exist.
Yeah.
So it's just, some of them may be a little harder to find, but I know, because I've been looking at Wild Pegasus rookie, Liger's rookie, Suzuki's rookie. I'm in this new mode right now where I'm trying to collect
getting all the rookies.
Yeah, that, and I'm also trying to get autos of all the Japanese guys that I've worked with too. So like,
Yeah.
I like Suzuki and Ishii and Liger and all those
I
guys.
know
Like,
I never thought to actually go out and get those rookie cards of them. I just always wanted like one of each person, like
mhm.
one Wild Pegasus, Chris Benoit, Jericho. Like I told you, I was like, oh, I'm going to Mexico to pick up that Lionheart, like
Nice.
Jericho CMLL card.
Yeah.
And but yeah, there's some guys that I think like looking into the future, I'm like, oh man, their rookie card's gonna be off the like astronomical when it comes to value. If it was and it came down to like having to sell or you know push come to shove, but um that's really cool. I need to definitely check to see what rookie cards I may have or may close to being obtainable, I guess.
They're more obtainable than you think. And you and I can talk about that off air. Like I can kind of
Yeah.
point you towards the directions on that. But yeah, there's Japanese wrestling cards is a whole nother thing. And I haven't even covered that here on top of the card yet. That's a separate deep dive that I will get into someday with it. I know one that I'm kind of kicking myself on right now, and this is WWE related at least, is I have an Austin Theory rookie from 2020, but that same set had Rhea Ripley's rookie, and I did not keep it, and I am kicking myself
You
over it
did,
now.
but you had it though. Or you just
I
didn't keep
had
it.
it, I had it, and I did a bulk deal a lot of those cards, and I just sold them, and I gave I think some of the base ones away. I don't know which one I did with the Rhea rookie, but I kept the
Yeah.
Theory rookie just because I'd worked with Theory and Evolve.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
kept it, but now I'm kicking myself over not keeping Rhea's rookie because
What's the Rhea rookie kind of worth right now, raw or
I mean, I could tell you, it just depends on what the
because she's definitely in that tier of like the next, like there was like Bailey, Sasha, Charlotte,
which I have
Becky.
those.
Yeah. And then like the next one, honestly, might just be Rhea in that category by herself. Like, no offense to any of the other girls, but I'm just like, look
Yeah.
at where she's at, who she's interacted with, and it's just like night and day. Oh, maybe EO. I think EO would be in there. Asuka
Yep.
would be in there.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
I think Asuka might be in the Charlotte one. I don't think I think EO and Rhea may be that slot for that generation, of rookie cards who are going to be worth something.
No, I totally agree because I actually went out a couple months ago and I picked up the entire 2015 Tops WWE Undisputed set. And
Mm,
it has odd it's Becky, Sasha, and Charlotte autos, and it's Becky's rookie auto. And I got them all graded and they all came back PSA 10. So all three of them
thank you,
together.
PSA.
Yeah, thank you, PSA, because now all three of them together are worth about
Don't break
12
my heart.
$1,250 to $1,300
Oh my
between the three
gosh.
of them.
And
So, and
yeah.
so I definitely made my strategic investment on those. But that one
You
also
think you
has,
say Sasha was on that?
yeah,
You
Sasha,
think she
Becky,
coming
and
back?
Charlotte. I don't know. Like, I honestly, like, I think New Japan and AEW is the way. I think because I don't think she's scratched that creativity itch. You know what I mean? Because you've been there.
Yeah,
You've
yeah,
been in
yeah,
WWE. You know the system. You know what I mean? I haven't been there, but I'm wildly familiar with it.
yeah.
And you know how it is. Like I think we have not yet be able to seen her scratch that creativity itch as much as I think she would before going back that route.
I
Well,
just think like match wise, I'm like, I don't know who else I
oh,
would want her to see.
there's
I
some
mean, like
I want to
that's
see, obviously I want to see Tony in that environment. I want to
yeah,
see, I
true.
mean, there's a list I could put together pretty quickly of people I think that would be worth it. And then, obviously you go into the Japanese realm too. So to answer your
Yeah.
question on the Rhea rookie, just looking off the top of my head, obviously autos and parallels, are the thing.
Yep.
Her 2020 Topps Finest auto to 25 PSA 9 sold about a month ago for $225. So not bad for PSA 9 pricing. Like I think that would be definitely a strong investment. You know what I mean? There's a PSA 10 of her undisputed base that went for 300. So you're going to start seeing those on
Base.
base. Yeah. So those on
Yeah. Oh
cards are
my
going to start
gosh.
getting pretty steep. Finest to 99 green PSA 10 500 in August. So it's going to start getting real steep real quick. So if you are on
Yeah.
that train with as Dom the shirt says Monday Night Mommy, I'd start looking for those autos now because I don't see them going down anytime soon. But
No, like I said, her and EOS, I think, are gonna be the people pickers, like the ones that people are gonna want to.
So share with us. We talked, and you said it to me yesterday when we were talking. You're going after the Jericho. How'd you find the Jericho rookie? So tell me what. So there's probably people that don't that have not really delved into this land with it. I know Jericho's rookie card was out of Mexico from CMLL, obviously because he was there before he came to Cornette and really kind of broke into the
Smoky.
U.S. and
Yeah.
Smoky. So what card is it, and how'd you find it?
So I actually forgot that it was his rookie card, but I just remembered seeing it in magazines. I remember seeing it like on documentaries, but the Corazon de Leon, the Lionheart,
Yep.
rookie card from CMLO. And honestly, man, I've been asking people for a couple cards, a couple Pokemon cards, a couple other stuff, but that was been the only wrestling card that I'm like, you know what, before I go anywhere else or for anything else, I need to get this card, And I asked around, and in the States, it was like either almost impossible or people wanted so much.
Yep.
But then I was like, you know what? Wait a minute. I do travel to Mexico a lot. It is a Mexican product. Why can't I just see if somebody has it there? And again, I'm not a person, and I probably should. I'm not a person to be like, oh, I needed to be prestige. Like it would be great, amazing, right? But at the end of the day, just to say like I had that card, is enough for me. I more look at my graded cards as like, keepsakes. They're protected, and yeah, they're worth money, but like, that's not the first thing I think of. So like any version of this card I get, obviously I hope it's like a decent condition. I don't care. So I ended up posting about it, and I asked some people at CMLO. I said, hey, can you direct me and anybody who may have had this card? And they were like, oh, well, some of the workers around the building are given like cards and stuff, so I'm sure you can ask somebody. I ended up, the first person I asked was the doorkeeper from the the fans to the wrestlers, like that section of the building. And he was like, oh, I have a friend who has the whole set. And I was like, do you think he would be willing to sell it to me? And he was like, I think he would be willing to trade it for a mask. So I mean, this might get me in a lot of trouble here, but I ended up giving him a mask that he thought I wore that night. I had two of the same color. So I was like, well, and I'm a keepsake guy. I kind of like keepsake.
Yeah.
So the original thing is always going to stay with me, or try to stay with me. So I gave him the other mask. I put water on it and like threw it around, make it look like it was beat up. And I was like, hey, can you give this to him if that card is legit? And he sent me a picture of it, and I mean a video. We FaceTime, and I was like, that's the card. And honestly, I think it might grade like a 7 or like, but like, that's for a card that old, almost something years old, like a 7 is great. Probably talking about ding corners, maybe 2 ding corners, maybe some whitening. Like, I don't give a fuck, bro. As long as it says Corazon de Leon, has Jericho like this, like in his fucking the old school Mexican rulo pose. I think it would be sick. And so I told him, I said, next time I'm coming down, which I think it might be December, I was like, give him it and let's trade. Like, I didn't mind giving him the mask early because I wanted to show him that I'm I'm real about this trade.
Absolutely.
And I told him, I said, I'll throw him anything. Like I'll throw him, pictures and whatever the case is. I just want that card. I think that card was so cool. And I think when we go back and talk about guys later on in the future whose card is going to be worth money, like Jericho is going to be worth money.
I absolutely agree. I picked up one of his 25 in the 2015 undisputed set. I picked up one of his just to have because everything in that undisputed set's on card, with the exception of the Brock Lesnar auto. But it's an early Brock auto though. So yeah,
that's the other one I want. I want the Brock Lesnar rookie, a Kurt Angle rookie,
2002. So 2002
and
Royal
I want
Rumble.
the Olympic card rookie, or Olympic Kurt Angle. Those are my 3.
I can put you in the direction on all of those actually, because they're not especially so Brock and Kurt rookies. Well, Kurt's 2000, but they didn't really do cards. So you're looking at the 2002 I think it was Topps Royal Rumble set. So I'll show them to you. I know where I know what they are, but I can tell you from looking on eBay, They're looking for the Corazon de Leon card. It's the 93 top CMLL set, and I'll put a picture of it up here on the screen so you
It's
guys,
crazy.
everybody watching here on ad free and on the YouTube can see it. It's number 16. It's the top CMLL Corazon de Leon card. Someone's got one up as a BGS 9.5.
Yeah,
And
that's been up there forever. How much?
they're asking $500,000 for it. It's
Yeah,
not worth $500,000, but that's
that's been up
definitely,
there for a hot minute, bro.
yeah, I know it's been up there for a long time. That tells you how rare it is.
Yeah.
So I will put that up so you guys, so everyone here on the YouTube and here on the Patreon can take a look at that. But I've seen that card, at least not this listing, but I've seen it before. So when we were talking, you told me you were going after Jericho's rookie. I was like, I know exactly what you're looking for. So
Yeah.
but that's awesome that you're able to reach out, at least with people down in Mexico City, CML
The
fans
pro
for
wrestling
that.
world, man, helped me out, dude. A
Dude,
lot of them, I thought I had to go to Japan because a lot of their product went over to Japan too. So I was like, and the Japanese culture takes care of their stuff. So I'm sure I could have found a really good quality one. But yeah, like I said, I'm not about the quality. I should be, but just to have one in my collection and be like, I got it. Nobody else, none of my friends do.
it's
Like, that's a big deal.
it's on my list. I hope the day comes I actually get to work in Japan because I want to go to the Tudoken shop.
Oh
And I
yes.
know they've got cards out the Yahoo. They have to. And like
Dude,
I
they've got
took
cards from
hours.
like years. I have a friend on Instagram. I forget what his name is, like Baseball. Caucasian dude, really cool dude. He goes there a lot. I think he lives there, and he'll
Okay.
send me pictures like, "Do you have this card? Do you have this card? Do you need this card?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, dude, I don't know if I have enough money in my bank account right now for all these cards."
So baseball, if you ever get a chance, any of the Japanese, the pre before he came over to the United States, but any of the Japanese, either Shohei or Ichiro cards,
Mm,
invest in them, in both of them. Like there's a market on both of them. So one of the
really?
only non-wrestling things I'll say, at least on this episode, at least for this. But so you're just getting the single card. Are you not going to go for the whole set?
I would love to go for the whole set, but honestly, man, like there's some other stuff in at least lucha libre culture that I would rather go after. I
Fair
just
enough.
think, like, for me personally, I think when I think of like Jericho, that's what I think of. When I
Yeah.
think of like a guy like Psychosis, I would think of like his AAA action figure,
Yeah.
not a specific card that sticks out in mind. If anything, I would get the Psychosis like WCW card,
Yeah.
because that's when he, really broke in and people
Mhm.
like knew who he was and probably undervalued what his card was at that time. I'm pretty sure a lot of those people who opened those cards and were only about the NWO and all them forgot about these luchadors, but forget like their money too, man.
Dude.
Money's money.
It's been said, obviously, here on the At For Shows platform, we have Eric Bischoff with 83 weeks, and he's talked about it numerous times. The fact that it is the luchadors, which, obviously he branded as the cruiserweights. That was
Mhm.
really like a jumping off point for the success of WCW in the 90s. And for me personally, I tell you, that was my first exposure to Lucha Libre at that point. Obviously, as I got older, I delved in deeper and then started watching the CML stuff, or the AAA stuff, and then have been
Mhm.
fortunate enough to actually work with AAA over the past few years. But like seeing guys like Psychosis, seeing Ray, seeing La Parca, Vianos. I mean, you can go down the list basically of every luchador that came through the doors there in WCW. That was basically kind of the entrance. And then if you looked at the other end, you had WWE who brought in Taka, um, and you
Tajiri
had,
was in there
yeah,
at one
Tajiri
point.
was in there, but
El
who else?
Pantera was in there.
Yeah, who's Great Sasuke was as well.
Sasuke.
Basically, like
Yep.
it's kind of like they almost kind of went more into the Japan luchador route versus with WCW going to the Mexican luchador route, And then I found out, and then I went back and found the When Worlds Collide pay-per-view from LA
Oh yeah.
and
That's a
watched
good
that as
one.
well. So it was a big introduction like that. But yeah, that it would be interesting, and this is something that I know would be on eBay, but maybe I'll have to do a deep dive at this personally and trying to find a lot of those early cards of those guys, because for me, like I loved, I like the Vianos because for me, having that 3, 4, 5, like having the family lineage there, in that aspect, in terms of having like,
And
you
it's a
know,
legit a family, by the way.
yeah,
Like it's a legit a family. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
it's amazing. So that's a whole nother deep dive I will get into at some point in life. So, um, so you're going after the Jericho card. What do you currently have in your collection right now? I can see it right over your shoulder there. You said you got one case there and one above it. So what's in your collection currently?
Okay, so these two cases, I have a couple cases around the house, but these are the
Yep.
only two displayed. You got to keep the like super rare ones
Yeah.
away.
Hmm.
So okay, in this case, the one above it, obviously, I'm a big believer of if you have a career, you should, um, collect your career. So
Yeah.
I ended up getting every card possible that I could find on eBay,
Awesome.
bartered, trade, bought, whatever. And I went through, I love PSA, but for this one, just because I was like, you know what, I'm not thinking again of value, I'm thinking of aesthetic, like how it looks. I
No,
went
yeah.
through SGC,
Okay.
the tuxedo company, just
Yeah.
because it's very clean. Like, I think it
Yeah.
highlights the card. I think when I look at a PSA graded card, I think I'm too focused on the information rather than
Yes.
the card. Even though the
Yes.
case is clear and it does give me emphasis
Yep.
on the card, I feel like my eyes have to look at the grade and all the information. When I look at the SGC one and it's just black, I feel like I'm just like
Hmm.
tunnel vision into the card. So I really like the way that looked. So I got all my cards graded, and then I was like, let me take it a step further. Let me get my team, anything that me and
Yeah.
my team are in.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting, the triple autos, like the
Hmm.
2 out of 5s, and
Yep.
me and metallic and every
Hmm.
combination that I could get. And I think I'm missing a few, not that many. I could probably count on one hand. But there's different versions of each card. So
Hmm.
there's it looks like it's the same, but
It
it's the
gets pretty
variations.
expansive in the parallel checklist.
Yeah, 1,000%. So
Yeah.
I ended up collecting everything that I could, like I said, find. I go
Hmm.
on eBay every week and just search my name, make sure that nobody, I want a cut of my money if he's selling something on mine. So, or let me look at the card and oh, I don't have that one. Let me either
Hmm.
I message them first, be like, hey
Yep.
bro, like this is Lince.
Yep.
Can we make a trade? Or I'll just buy it if I don't really want to deal with it.
Yep.
So
For
so
everyone here on the platform, real quick, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'll throw this out there.
no, you
So
good.
the start of Lindsay's rookie card, let's get it out there as well, because you said you went through pretty much everything. So it's the 2017 Tops WWE. It's the roster update. It's R5.
Yeah.
Is Lince's rookie. For those because I know a lot of people like to go in just the straight rookie cards, but 2017 Tops update. I'll put a picture of it up here on the screen so you guys can see it as well. And I mean, he's when I used trading card database here as my resource for this. Basically, 2017, you're in the then now forever under the 205 live banner.
Yep.
And then it starts going, one that doesn't get talked about much, but you're in is a lot of the slam attack stuff, which was a lot of it
I
that
got
was
those.
UK based.
Mm,
19 money in the bank, 19 tops. You got your parallels through there. I'm going to click over here and see. So you're in everything up through 2021, basically. So the 19
yeah,
tops, you got your
I'm in a lot
inserts.
of different sets. Like I have, like I said, I do have multiple of the same ones in different variations, but I do have a lot. And with being in the group as well, especially with us three, and then
Mhm.
just me and Metallic, like I got all those variations and any ones that I could get. Am I gonna say that it's worth money? Maybe one day if I ever just decide to just unmask and be like, now all these Linces are maybe a little bit more, but I just got them because again, I thought that it would be important for my career to look back and be like, look, I was in these cards, and I, and it's also really cool to see the cards because I make the gear too. So I'm like,
Mhm.
look, it's a double banger where like I got
Yeah.
an official WWE card, and that's my image that I created. I sewed it and wore it on live television, live pay-per-views all over the world. And now it's forever immortalized. Like, it's not an
Yeah.
ego thing, but it is being a part of history is always going to be super important. Everybody wants to be a part of history, whether it's good or bad. And I think, at least when I think about my legacy, these cards like immortal me, in the world of professional wrestling. Like, yeah, it'll keep going on, but at this moment, like I'm a part of it because of these cards.
Yeah, the wheel keeps turning always, and I share that sentiment with you, and I hope that comes across to everyone watching that we do this because we love this, but we also want to have something that lives forever, and we want to be a part of history with that. Like I can tell you personally, for me, I never got my own card. Obviously, I'm a ref. We're not going to sell tickets. I never really
They should
expected my own
though. They
card.
should have ref
They
cards.
Impact, when I was with Impact for the years I was with them, they never did ref cards. I fully knew that I would never get one, but and I know this from a couple friends of mine who used to work for the company for WB, that they were in a couple of cards that they were in the background. You know what I mean? So they were at least on a card, and I got that with Impact. I was it was the last set that
Okay.
was released. It was the Impact 20th anniversary set. It's the Madison Rain card. It's a match photo, and I'm right in the background behind it. It was right after a false finish we did in a match, and I'm in it, and as clear as day. I had the set. I saw it. I kept it, and I graded it with PSA. And for me, it's like, I don't care what the grade is on this card. I think it came back a 9, actually. I was actually kind of surprised. But I wanted it graded because I wanted that number on it, because then that basically is like our Library of Congress for cards. And I was like, now this card lives forever. And I was a part of this moment that was on this card. So I totally understand it. I'm looking at your Superfractor, your image variation Superfractor, actually from 21 Topps Chrome. It looks like it's you and Orton, actually. Looks like that was from the Thunderdome era. That's a great picture, actually.
Let me see that.
Yeah, hold on, let me, yeah, I'll send it to you to show you. I'll put it up here for everyone watching. I'll put it up here on the screen so you guys can see it as well. It's the Superfractor. But man, yeah, I know, I can tell you those roster, like those checklists get expansive if you're trying to get parallels and all that. Like I was talking a couple weeks ago, Inside Baseball for everyone watching. You know Jake Clemens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jake was with WWE for a short time. He was on one card from his time with WWE, and it was actually the moment that he was on before he got signed. He was on, this was right before the pandemic in 2020. They put him on TV, and he was like a heel. He ended up being like heel ref for Rollins. So I think it was Rollins.
He got stunned by KO.
Yeah, it was him and KO. It was like the main event of Monday Night Raw, actually. It was Montreal, and there was a card produced of it in one of the top sets, and it's him standing in between there. So he's trying to run the rainbow as well. And he actually showed me a couple weeks ago. He got one of the printing plates.
Nice.
On eBay from that set. So we're all in that same boat together. Like, we all want to make history and create moments and do something that will live through the generations, you know, and having cards like that is something that, you know, they'll be around forever, you know. So I totally get it.
Way longer than us. And I feel like because wrestling will always be around, and like maybe there'll be a museum one day, somebody's gonna want these cards, you know, and that'll give back to wrestling in a different way. You know, they gave to us like that nostalgic, that passion, and maybe for other people it'll be, you know, our stories that they hear from a cards from somebody else, like, you know what I'm saying?
No, totally. What's your grail card? What's, like, if you could have one card? So obviously you're getting the Jericho rookie, but if you don't even have to have it in your collection, if there's one that you like, you could get, that could be like the grail card, like, you know, the holy grail basically of cards. If there was one that you could either you own or either you could own, what would it be?
Okay, so I think for me, there's two. I have one I consider the grail card, and that's the Undertaker rookie card. He signed it in purple, and you know, he don't sign nothing. So and I told you earlier, we'll talk about the story. I guess now we will.
Let's go.
I'll tell you after the second card. But the second card, I think for me, would be like a signed Mil Mascaras card, because when I think of like Lucha Libre, like a lot of people think like Blue Demon and Santo, but I'm like, let's take it a step further, where let's do the guy who introduced Lucha Libre to the masses. And like, you know, it's more than just, you know, llaves and holds and stuff. So I think I have a couple Mil Mascaras cards that I have signed. I actually have one of him and oh my gosh, I'm just looking at that. Dusty Rhodes shaking hands, like in the they look super cool, like they look like they're in Japan. And
you have to send me the pictures of those so we can put them up here on the screen for everybody here, so they can see what you're talking about.
And I thought that one would be cool. If I would have even got like Mil to sign that, just to have like Mil and Dusty, it just looks so cool. Like I actually got it from WrestleCade last year. The guy had some cards and he had that one loose, and I was like, damn, let me grab that. And I grabbed like 4 or 5 other cards, a really good deal. One being like a tiger mask and something else.
Yeah.
But I thought that card would be cool. But yeah, I think the Undertaker rookie card is the holy grail for my professional wrestling collection. Now I do have other card collections, like I have a first edition Charizard, you know, that I saved. So that's also like,
is it graded,
the money card. It is.
What is it?
Yes.
What's the grade
It's
on
a
it?
BGS 8. Yeah. So
That's
I had a great deal on it from a guy that I was buying like some other cards from. And one day he was like, "Hey man, I have a Shadowless and I have a first edition Charizard, both BGS, same grade. I think the Shadowless might be a 7.5 and the first edition is an 8. But he cut me like a super good deal. He actually tried to give me or tried to charge me more, but after talking to him and saying like, "Hey, I take both cards if you cut me a deal," and we did. And the day that I got it, dude, I felt like my whole Pokemon collection. I was like, I'm done. Like, what else do I need? I don't need anything
I
else. You
I'm
know?
looking at it now, actually, just because I'm familiar, obviously, with the first edition Charizard, but not values and stuff. And I'm looking at it right
Yeah.
now, and I'll just tell you for everyone here that's listening. So,
Tell me, I didn't even know
as a
what it is.
recording, a BGS 8 of the first edition of the Shadowless Hollow Charizard sold 4 days ago for 8 grand.
Damn,
So
that's still crazy.
oof, that's still a lot of money, man. And
Yeah, that is
that's a lot of
crazy
money
right
for those
now.
first edition stuff. All right, so let's backtrack.
Okay,
Undertaker
so the
91
Undertaker card,
Classic. Let's go.
Russell Cade, right? Try to get him to
Yep.
sign it. I'm unsuccessful.
Yep.
Fine. I go home disappointed, and then I see Fitterman like, "Hey,
Hmm.
advertise like the Undertaker's doing another signing in Texas or something."
Hmm.
So I said, "You know what, man? It doesn't hurt to ask. Right now, it's a no. It doesn't hurt to ask." So I
Absolutely.
hit up the people at Fitterman. I said, "Hey, man, look, I'm a professional wrestler in Dorado. I love cards. I have this Undertaker rookie card. I know he doesn't sign these, but would you be willing to help me get this signed by him?" Again, at that moment, the answer was no.
Yep.
So I was already under the impression maybe he won't answer me, maybe they won't answer me. But at least I tried. Finally, I get it. Message back, and it's from him first. Fitterman, and
Hmm.
great dude, by the way. Fitterman and like what he does, super cool dude. I can't, especially after this story, I can't say anything bad about him. Like, there's nothing bad I could
Yeah.
say about him. A super good dude. He goes, "Yeah, you know what? We could do that for you. I'll get you in contact with my secretary. She'll have all the details and we'll go from there." Great, cool.
Yeah.
Immediately got an email from the secretary. And I should have done a little bit more stuff, more research when it came to like, okay, all this other bull stuff that I need to figure out. But I'll tell you that in a second.
Okay.
It was already graded in a SGC
Okay.
case.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, it was already graded in SCG. Yeah, it was SCG. And I just wanted him to sign on
On the
the
slab.
case.
Okay.
Yeah, on that, because I was like,
Yeah.
what's the worst?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So when she gave me the price, I was like, "Hey, is that really what it is?" Or I was like, "Well, maybe I'm getting the brother price."
Hmm.
Okay, cool. So send the card in. First of all, I didn't get any information about like, "Hey, make sure that it's you, make sure that this or that."
They just trusted you
So
straight away.
yeah, they just trusted me and I
Yeah.
trusted them,
Yeah.
So I send it to them. And after thinking about it, I was like, this kind of looks like an eBay package. Like, as if this dude bought a rookie card from eBay and he probably is gonna break it and have Undertaker sign it and sell it to somebody else, right?
Hmm.
Without even thinking. So I forgot about it.
Okay.
Then I get a phone call. I'm actually at the doctor's with my kids, and it's the secretary, and
Hmm.
she goes, "Hey, is this Lince?" And I'm like, "Yeah, this is Lince. How you doing?" She was like, we have two issues." I said, "Uh-oh." She's like, "First issue is the price I gave you is actually not the price." And I was like, "Well, what's the price?" So she tells me, and I'm like, that kind of sucks. But you know what?
It is
It's
what it
much
is.
better than, yeah, it's much better than what I thought, and it's much better than a no. So then
Yeah.
I was like, "All right, what's the second issue?" And she goes, "Did you want it signed on the slab?" And I go, uh, "Yeah." She goes, "Okay, here's the issue with that one." I was like, "Uh-oh." I was like, "All right, what's the issue?" She goes, "We get a lot of eBay packages, and we thought your card was a part of those eBay packages. And like I told you, they break them open, like uncase
They
them and
crack
have
them.
Undertaker sign.
Yep.
Yeah,
Crack
and
the
then
slab.
send them off to get them authenticated."
Yeah. Yeah.
Which,
Yeah.
at that point, as an Undertaker rookie card, you get charged for the value of that card. And like,
Yeah.
some for the grading process.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
damn, I already got it graded. I don't want to get graded or charged, whatever PSA was going to charge me for an Undertaker rookie card. She goes, but listen, I'm gonna get you in contact with Fitterman. So me and Fitterman talked, and long story short, our conversation started off rocky because I was like kind of upset that one, the card was broken, and I was upcharged. And he goes, you know what? Because, and this is why I found like mad respect in him. Because again, I was like, I'll pay, whatever, but I just don't think, he made it right. He basically said, look,
Yeah.
we messed up. We didn't give you the information. We didn't give you the right price. This is on us. I was like, what? No, bro, I got to pay something, man. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way that I can, not, you're doing me a service and like, let me pay for the service in some way, but I just don't think I should pay that. He's like, no, this is on us. We'll
Wow.
send it to you. And
Wow.
he sent it to me within like 2 days. It was in my house, like perfect, like still perfect condition. I sent that bitch right away to go get graded. And it came back. The auto came back at 10. I think the card came back 8. So
That's still very good. I see, and I can say as a collector, and I know it didn't mean much to you, but getting it on the card versus on the slab, and then getting it regraded again, it is
a difference
an
because
investment.
yeah, it's an investment. And plus, like, yeah, that because he used one of those like puff pens, not puff pens,
Yeah.
the paint pens.
Yeah.
So like that could chip off. I totally understand that. Because I have a Bret Hart rookie card that's written on the case. I have a couple on the card and I have a couple on the case. And man, Fitterman made it right. And I was so happy that I added that to my collection. And I just, it could have been bad. It could have been bad.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it wasn't. And I'm happy that they made something that was a disappointment, and not, it could happen to anybody, honestly, man. It really could have, but they made it right. And my case, my collection looks great now. My collection, I love looking at my case. I love looking at those, the Bret. It's like Eddie, Bret, Undertaker, and then like all my cards and all the other random like wrestling cards around it.
Mhm.
But like my eyes go to it, and I
Yeah.
love looking at that card. And it's in purple. I think he's wearing silver, but just when I think of Undertaker, I think
It's
of
purple.
the black and purple.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's the grail in my card case.
I'm gonna sound like a bad fan, but I actually do not have an Undertaker rookie. I just
Damn.
on my list of things that I've been
Like
trying
rookie
to do,
card or like
I don't
signed?
have a rookie or a rookie. So I don't have a rookie in 91 Classic
Yeah.
period. So that is on my list for 2024. I
Mhm.
have one Undertaker odd. Oh no, I have two. Well, one I have in my possession and one Panini still owes me. I have, I did a case break of Select 22 last year and
Nice.
pulled a base Undertaker auto from it and graded it PSA 10. So great.
Oh my gosh.
I
Do you
did.
grade them? Do you grade the card and auto, or do you just do the auto, or do you
No,
do it?
I
Like,
grade the
what do you
card.
do?
I grade the card
Yeah.
because, and I haven't talked about grading here on top of the card yet, which it's coming for everybody. I have
Yeah.
I'll spoil it and hopefully you'll pop for this. So I got a random DM a few months ago from Mark Jindrak of all people.
Oh
And
shit.
Jindrak apparently works for one of the grading companies. Yeah, I know,
Wait, I
right?
thought Jindrak was in Mexico. Where's he at? He's in Florida.
No, Florida.
He might
So
do SGC or CGC because they're both in Florida.
I think it's HGA, which is also in Florida.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think so. I've been trying, it's been sporadic trying to get a hold of him, but my goal for everyone here on ad free listening, my goal is the grading video. We're gonna do part of it, or hopefully we're gonna do an interview with Mark Jindrak. Since he actually works with it. So yeah, so when it came out like in a couple months ago, I saw an article apparently that talked about him coming back to wrestling again and talked about him being in the hobby. And someone sent it to me, and I was like, dude, I'd love to reach out to him. And someone did for me. And about 3 hours later, I just had a random Twitter DM from Jindrak there. I was like, man, how wild is this business that I've just got Jindrak sitting in my DMs? Like, just so we've talked on and off. It's just it's kind of sporadic in the reply. So I hopefully my goal when we do grading, y'all, for top of the card, we're gonna have Jindrak on with. That
I
is
feel like
that
you
is a
can't do
goal of
any other
mine.
episode. You need to do that episode only with and starting with Jindrak.
Exactly,
You
because
know,
we
if you
haven't
got
talked
the
about
insight, I feel like it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, we haven't talked about grading here on top of the card yet. I've kind of been holding off for that express purpose, plus a couple other things behind the scenes that you guys are going to see hopefully here in the next few episodes, that I'm going to bring along with it to kind of like supplement into grading. So we haven't got there, but yeah, I just get the card graded because the auto is already authenticated by Panini or Topps, so I don't need the auto
True. Yeah,
authenticated.
that's true.
And PSA is so bad with grading autos that it's not worth it. It's not worth it for me to
Yeah.
do it. But the one I'm waiting on from Panini, I ripped a case of Immaculate WWE, and I got an Undertaker Moments auto numbered to 49. And the pictures, if you haven't seen it, if you haven't seen it, the actual card picture hasn't come out yet because they were redemptions. But it is, I've already been told what the picture is, and it's basically going to be a horizontal card. It's the auto on card auto, not a sticker auto, but the picture is going to be him like in the kneel position with all the purple hue purple lights and
Was that
everything.
Mania?
Don't know yet. I don't know what the picture is. I'm still waiting on it. So I was hoping I'd have it by now, but I'm holding out. I'll wait forever for that card because
What's Austin's rookie card? You know?
Austin's rookie card is actually WCW, if I'm not mistaken. Let me hold on. I'll search real quick. I think it's
That's
an
Stunning
early.
Steve.
Yeah, it should be that.
I think his card from WCW or his rookie card in general, and then his rookie WWF card would be sick to have.
Yeah, it got really weird in that in the mid 90s for wrestling cards because there wasn't like a Tops or anything with it. So like to give you a good example, The Rock. So the what's quantified as The Rock's wrestling rookie is from the 1997 Cardinal trading card board game set.
Oh yeah, Cardinal. Yeah.
The Cardinal set, which I had one of those, which I got it during the pandemic. And I ended up grading it with BGS. It got a 9.5, and I ended up flipping it for like $2,500.
Oh yeah, dude.
And during the pandemic. So I'm gonna revisit that though, because prices on those card game sets have come down drastically. So I'm gonna revisit that. For Austin. And this may be one you may be able to try to find in Mexico, actually. Oh, here it is. Let's see, 1991. Let's see here. Watch this. See, I'll do it this way. So it's going to be a Stunning Steve Austin, because I haven't done videos or anything on the early 90s sets. But I think it's actually a Mexico one, a Stunning Steve, actually. Let's see here. Yeah, it's the 1991 Chromie, Cromy, but it's a Mexican one. It's Luchadores. G4
As Stunning Steve.
as Stunning Steve. Yeah, for everyone here on the screen, I'll put it up on the screen so you guys can see this as well. But it's on, I'm seeing it on eBay. Yeah, there's it looks like the last one sold for like $235. Is what the last one's not bad. So, but the Rocks one is that Cardinal trading game set. So it just depends because it gets really wonky in the 90s because there were some that were out there and some that weren't. And then you'll like this, you'll pop this. What Prism did, what Panini did this year for Prism in their undercard set. So it's like no huddle football for wrestling. So you get the little disco variations. They did a 20 card image variation set with it. And Austin has one as Stunning Steve in it. Full robe with the NWA TV title, but the one that really got me on it was there's the mill card. That's awesome.
One here.
Oh, that's awesome.
This was actually not like a standard size though.
Yeah.
And here's
pull
here's
it back out a little
one.
bit. Well, there we go.
Let me see.
Oh, that's phenomenal. Yeah, when you get into those, especially in the different countries, they can be different size and everything like that. That's normal with it. But
these ones are Japanese.
Oh, the Japanese one, same thing.
I got this card out of this set, and I got this one because one, I didn't realize it was sticker until my son pulled off another one that I had. And then in the back, these type of cards in this set, it was the 1987 Topps WWF set. If you had all the cards, it made like a Hulk Hogan poster.
Yes.
So I had this one graded just because I thought it was cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
and then
just the logo.
Yeah, and on the back it has
part of the picture. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
We're gonna cover the 87 here on top of the card probably in the next couple of months, actually, because I'm gonna do a box rip of it. So spoiler alert for you guys, 87 Tops WWF is coming.
Damn.
We did 85. We did the 85 WWF set a month and a half or so ago. Looking for those Hogans, the 85 Hogans. So, and I got two
is
of
that
them.
the which one's that one?
It's the yellow and the teal backgrounds. Or the 85.
Damn, I have a Hogan. Let me show you which one, and you tell me if it's that one.
Yeah, yeah, go
it
ahead.
says
Yeah.
85 on it.
Yeah, grab it. Yeah, yeah.
Now you got me curious, man.
See, this is what we want to do with this here.
Let me see.
Okay, so you're gonna grab yours. I'm gonna wheel behind here real quick. I'm gonna grab my case here because I have some up on here. So you guys, we're pulling cards out here. We're doing this on the fly. This wasn't part of the plan, but we're doing it on the fly here. Hold on.
When you're proud, you're proud. You gotta show them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Make it harder to see. All right, here we go.
I got to break out the four.
Before I show you that card, I'll show you the card.
Okay.
Hey, all right. So here's that milk card I was talking about.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't know why
what's the name of that for those who want to know? What's it say on the label? Yep.
This one is the 1982 Gong Magazine Mil Mascaras and Dusty Rhodes hand cut. So this is a hand cut one. There's nothing on the back, but it's bro. I don't know. It just looks cool because they're both. This Brett one. What was this one? This was also from the 87.
That's the 87 set. That's his the 87 would have been rookie, and you got it in the pink paint pen too, which is awesome.
Oh, you already know, man.
Okay. I already know.
And then I got here's that. Yeah. Here's that Undertaker one.
Oh yeah.
Let me see.
That's phenomenal. No, the 91 classic set. Okay, hold on.
And then this is that Hogan one I was talking about.
Yes, that's the 85 yellow. Actually, we'll share. I have one here as well. That is a PSA 7.
Hey, this one's SGC 7.5.
Yep. So I have two more ungraded. So here on top of the card, we actually opened up a couple of rack packs of sealed rack packs at 85, and we got two Hogans. My plan and what I told everyone on the video is, and this is why I've been holding off for grading as well, is I want to get them signed by Hogan. And then
I know, dude.
Get him.
I had an opportunity. Yeah, I had an opportunity to he was going to do a fundraiser show. And I told the person, I was like, hey, I'll do the show if you get him to sign all these cards. It had like 10 cards, bro. I was like, I'll come do it was local, and I was like, I'll come do the show if he could sign all these cards. They got him to say yeah. And then by the day of the show, it was he had an issue that he couldn't make it. Like it wasn't like travel or anything, like personal issue. And so I ended up lucking out of that one. But what's the deal with the 85 Hogan card?
So the 85 basically it was basically his first WWF card. So the way it works out domestically, and what I've tried to do with here on top of the card is basically I'm trying to go almost chronologically, at least in terms of the vintage stuff. So the very first set that was created domestically was the 1982 Wrestling All-Stars Series A.
Yeah.
It was a mail order set out of Mankato, Minnesota. You couldn't get it in stores. Like you had to get the thing for it out of the Aftermags, basically, to get it. That's the very first.
Is that the one with Andre and all them?
Yeah, Andre and Flair. Yeah. I have an Andre. I have hold on.
And Flair. Oh, you have an Andre?
I don't have Flair. I don't have Flair. I'm working on that.
Flair one and Andre are like the most like desirable ones from that one.
Hold on.
I wanted an Andre card. That's another card that I think that and a rookie Kane would complete my set from a wrestling set. I feel like.
Give me a sec. Where is it? I have it here somewhere.
You gotta be prepared, man.
I know. We're on this on the fly. I wasn't thinking we were going to
order.
I wasn't thinking we were going to go
alphabetical order. Put your cards in alphabetical order, bro.
I didn't think we were going to show off collections. Otherwise, I'd had my case and had all this stuff up already. Because the wrestling one's been my fastest growing collection, basically.
Yeah.
Over the past probably year to year and a half. Just because, especially as we started top of the card, and as I've been kind of going headlong into it. All right, I'm going to get real mad if I can't find this. It's here. I know it's here. Oh, here you go. Here's the blue. PSA 8
Oh,
of the
which one's
85
more rare,
Hogan.
the blue one?
Yeah, the blue ones will carry more value than the yellow one. But grade, honestly, it's going to be grade dependent. And nowadays,
Yeah.
because as the hobby has grown, it's more of the autographed ones.
Yeah.
All right, here it is. 82 Wrestling All-Stars Series A, Andre the Giant
Oh my
PSA
God,
4.
it's so beautiful. I don't
So
even care that it's a 4, bro. I
no,
would
for
just
when
want it.
what I always say, and I said this when I started the videos, for me, when you get into the vintage, you're buying the card, not the grade.
Yeah. Yeah. And the
So
security when you grade it, because
yeah,
what's wrong with that one that I got a 4 though? Like, what do you think?
I mean, it's a lot of people don't, and you see this a lot with collectors with baseball and stuff too, is people just, they didn't know what they had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I
Yeah.
can't tell
Yeah.
you how many times when I'm working at the shop within the baseball realm, people will come in and say, I had all the late 50s mantles and stuff, but they were all in the spokes of my bike. And right now, a 52 mantle PSA 1 is worth about
He said,
$35,000.
I put him in the spokes of my bike. How
Yes,
dare you, child?
I know, really. So, but like a PSA 1, which is could be beat to crap, is worth
Yeah,
about
that's pretty bad.
35 grand. So okay, so I'll show you off a couple here real quick. So this is my taker that I have. This is from Select last year. So
Oh yeah. I've seen that one before.
yeah, it was the Select one. So and then here's my Brett
That's
sticker.
22, you said?
Yeah, there's
Oh
my Brett
yeah. I
sticker
got that one too. Yeah.
from 87. And then the
Not
three I was
not graded though.
yeah, the three I was telling you about, the Charlotte and the Sasha and the Becky. So there's my Charlotte.
Oh, perfect. Yep.
It's the next the NXT or the next in line set. There's my Sasha,
The mouse. I love that
and
girl.
and then
I love
my
both of them.
and then my Becky Lynch rookie auto, PSA
The
10.
BL. She
Yep,
has a great auto,
and then
actually.
it down there says at the bottom, or I'll pull it over here so you can see. It says
Was that?
first NXT, basically like your rookie designation. It's the way they did it
Yeah.
for the rookie stuff.
Yeah, on
So
my card it has a RC rookie,
yeah,
like a
yeah,
red RC.
yeah, top set. So what they did with the undisputed stuff and all that, especially once NXT really started, popping off, is basically they would do the NXT or the next in line sets, and
Mm.
basically for everyone that came in and started in NXT, their first auto would be the first NXT auto, and then once you guys would go from NXT to the main roster, then you would get the RC designation, like it's on your 17 card. You would get the RC designation when you go to the main roster.
I
So
never got an NXT one then. I
yeah,
just got a main roster one.
yeah, because I think it was just because of what you got. It was Cruiserweight Classic, then straight to 205, basically. So you kind of
But we
went
were
straight.
doing NXT though. We were still doing NXT. Like we had a crazy schedule, and we were on NXT. Some of us were on NXT TV. I know I did a couple with like Kenta and some of the other guys. But honestly, man, we were only there for a cup of tea. And
Yeah,
then we found out we were on Raw through watching Raw, and Stephanie's like, and we have the cruiserweights. And I'm like, what? Yeah, it was,
uh,
we weren't even thinking of cards. We weren't even thinking of,
yeah.
action figures, video games. It happened so fast, dude. Like it was
I
crazy.
I can understand that, especially. I mean, not to the extent, but I mean, for me, it was that time frame of doing Evolve and doing the Cruiserweight Classic stuff, and then as you guys all went off to start 205 live, I was still staying at Evolve, but then we were getting the NXT guys coming in.
Mm.
So like I did like North American title match at Evolve. I did a cruiserweight title match, actually, the purple belt, before they changed
I
it.
love the purple belt. Yeah.
I'm trying to find one for my gym, because I'm trying to get all the belts that I worked with. So, but I did, it was Gulak and Kushida in Evolve in Chicago,
Oh yeah.
and it tied
Yep. Yep.
into
I
the
remember.
storyline on TV, actually. So I've done that. I did one NXT title match. It was the network special we did on the network in 19. I did the NXT title match there, and then I've done some UK title matches. So, but that whole
In the
time frame was
UK
a
or
blur.
down here?
No, it was here in the States. My first
Okay.
one,
Yeah.
well, you'll like this because there's a Japan reference. So 2017 Progress WrestleMania weekend Orlando. They let Tyler defend the belt at the Progress show as part of the WWN live deal with Evolve and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up getting booked on the Progress shows. I had met Jim, John, and Glenn, the Progress guys, like earlier that week when I was down there, and they happened to book me for the show last minute, and I ended up reffing. It was Tyler Bate and Mark Andrews. So it was literally a month
Oh,
and a half
nice.
after Tyler won the UK belt. It was the first time that a WWE title had been defended outside of WWE's confines since Bull Nakano and Alundra Blaze in 1994 when they did their show at the Tokyo Dome.
Dang, I just put over Bull and Alundra probably yesterday in another podcast I did, but yeah.
I remember that match. I remember seeing the footage of that match and everything because they came back and had their program to SummerSlam '94. So we're way off topic, but we could talk about that later down the line. So this is something maybe I'll have to work on for 2024 because I know you said you're going down to CMLL in December, right?
Yeah, it should be December. I usually go down like 3 or 4 times a year for a couple, long extended stays. And now that I got accustomed to what their schedule is and like the free time and the area that I'm put in, because the area is like super vintagey. I didn't realize that till the last time I was there. So that's where the interest of like, oh, maybe I'll find that card like here or there. Cause there was like, I found a lot of the old AAA toys and stuff. So
Okay.
I'm sure I could find any card.
Well, here's why I asked because I was fortunate enough, but prior to the pandemic with Impact, that we did TV in Mexico City on numerous occasions. And so I would go in early and I would go down into the historic district down by Arena, Mexico. We actually ended up meeting.
And that's where I stay. Yep.
I ended up meeting some of the CMLL guys actually because I was wearing just like an Impact shirt or something. And they knew we were there, even though we had the working relationship with AAA. So we didn't use any of the CMLL guys, but they knew who we were. So there was, and I think we were going around Arena, Mexico right after training one day. So it was handshakes and how you doing and that sort of thing. I went to a couple of the shops, but man, maybe since I'm
no, it's not the shops you got to go to. You got to
really?
go to like the outdoor like
The flea markets and
I don't
stuff that are down that way, basically, like the
yeah
vendor
I didn't know if
setups.
they're like called the vendor setups. You have to go
Yeah.
around there because those are where it's at. Like I found some like that most of my Japanese cards. That's where I found a
Okay.
lot of like vintage like English Pokemon cards. I found there. Like it's not just Spanish cards. Like there's a lot of randomness that you can find there. And if not, somebody will direct you. Somebody will tell you who's got it.
So you're hearing it here first, y'all. If you're ever going to Mexico City again, here's how to start looking for, if you're looking for vintage and vintage cards. So you're a big person of bringing things into existence. So I'm going to bring this into existence because I am looking to start setting up and travel a little bit for 2015. You and me, Mexico City, CMLL, and then we spend a couple of days and we go hunting. We go hunting down at the vendors down there.
Let's do it.
Dude, I cannot tell you on a personal level, like my experiences in Mexico City when I went down for Impact because AAA took care of us. But like I would take the days and I would go down there. Like I went, mask hunting and got some mask stuff. I have a couple, just up in my collection. I'll eventually mount or something, just ones that I got in Mexico City. And between you and me, my tie is a little bit deeper because I was fortunate enough in 2019, AAA ran Hulu Theater, Madison Square Garden.
Oh, yeah.
I was one of the two.
Show.
I was one of the two refs on that show, and I actually refed the main event at MSG for that. It was Demon Jr. and Dr. Wagner Jr. in the main event. So
we both performed, and we both performed wrestling services at MSG.
Yes, I have. I did. I did the picture. I got the picture against the guardrail, like everybody else. So
I was at the one that Taker was supposedly had his last like MSG match. It might have been his last MSG match. He wrestled Elias. No, I think it was a live event.
Yeah, how so?
Yeah, I think it was a live event, but they advertised it like this is his last. It was like one of the holiday tours, and dude, Taker's been so like that card is not only like important because the rookie card of Undertaker is literally what the person means to me in my career. Like honestly, if it wasn't for Taker and Yokozuna, I would never have seen American wrestling. That was my first introduction where my uncle was taking me to school and he goes, "Hey, the Royal Rumble just happened." I had no idea about wrestling. He's like, "But you got to watch this match." And like prior to that, I was all about Lucha Libre. It didn't look like what I see on American wrestling. So he pops his tape in, and it's literally Yoko and Taker trying to put each other in this casket, and it blew my mind that this dead man and the
1994 Royal Rumble.
and it blew my mind. And instantly I was like,
Mm.
God, like, and I was enamored by Yoko, but I was more enamored by like Taker,
Mhm.
because of everything about him. Just I couldn't stop watching. And to share locker rooms with him, share like some personal stories that happened to me while I was in WWE, to help train him with him, like while he's coming back for his like WrestleMania matches. Like it was incredible. Like I can't say anything bad about him. And that's why that card I have is like just a memory card slot in my head. Every time I see it, I'm like, all these great memories of this one person. And then it goes back to wrestling, like all these great memories because of wrestling. So that a lot of that's what I say, man. These cards have no value. It's all about
It
what it brings to
the
me.
connections to, yeah, and I can share from my end. So so long story short, I'll bore everyone. I'll spare everyone the details. I got booked for MSG for the AAA show 2 days beforehand. I was actually in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma that weekend. Impact was running two live events, Twitch and an Impact Plus show in
Mm.
Oklahoma. So I drove from where my residence, about 8 hour drive down to Oklahoma City, and it literally was afternoon of the first show that the opportunity was given to me by Scott Demore to go up there. I was like, do I want to? Yes. Is it possible? So we figured it all out that afternoon. Called home and talked to my wife and said, I
Sorry,
got
baby, I'm not coming home.
I have a, and the term once in a lifetime, I think at that point in my career was getting a little overused because so many new things were happening in my career. But I knew in my
No,
heart,
so fast.
this is once in a lifetime, because I understood the fact that between Ring of Honor and New Japan running there earlier in the year, AAA running, and they moved it from the main arena over to Hulu Theater, but it's still MSG. It doesn't matter. I don't care what anyone says. It's MSG. Like that is part of the building. Um,
Yeah.
and I told my wife, I said, this is legitimately one of those once in a lifetime opportunities. I said, because WWE is going to lock them down again. And I said, nobody outside of them is going to be able to run there. And I basically came to, it's like, I love you. I will make this up to you, but I am taking this opportunity. So we did Friday, Saturday. I was on a 5:30 a.m. flight Sunday morning out of Oklahoma City to New York. And it was me and Johnny Bravo, who's still with Impact. We were the two refs. He was a referee at the
Oh
time.
yeah.
And Bravo, and I'm gonna put him over because I feel it necessary.
Don't do it. No, I'm
Bravo,
just playing.
he made the decision because he could have taken that main event and he gave it to me.
Nice.
So I'm gonna put him
Good
over.
brother.
So Bravo, good brother. Thank you, man. I love you to death. But he and so yeah, and I'd worked with Demon Jr. before. Actually when he dropped the
I
NWA
love
title.
Demon.
When he
Yeah.
dropped the title in 2010 to Adam Pierce, who's now the GM of Monday Night Raw. I was the referee of that match. It was the two of them and Phil Shatter or Jackson, who used to be Jackson Riker in NXT,
Okay, Riker, yeah.
in a triple threat.
Jason
So
Jackson
I
Riker.
I had a little bit of experience with it, but to be able to work that show in that building with and to be with Dr. Wagner, be with Demon, with the history and the respect that I know both of them carry within the Lucha Libre community, like it's on my list. I have a list of cards to get over my life, and cards of them are at the top of it. So maybe 2024, you and me, Mexico City. Um, we'll find some cards of them that I can add
I was
into
about to
my
say, I'll
collection
start
with it.
making some moves right now. I'll start hitting
You
people up like, hey,
let's
this is my list, my friend.
let's yeah,
Find these for me.
we could talk about this off air because I've been thinking about wanting to go back to Mexico City again just because I enjoyed it so much down there. Because I made it a point to get outside of like the hotel and get down into that historic district and get a chance to
It's bad, but
experience
it's not as
everything.
bad as people think it
No,
is. That's
not
why
at
I think a
all.
lot of people get scared, like
No, you
to
have
go.
to
I'm like, you're missing out on a lot of things, like a lot of
you
things.
have to know where you're going though. Like I'll fully say that, but like where we were put up, the hotel we stayed at, like I was able to walk from we were front in Mexico. It was like the little arena slash casino down there in the historic district is
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I know the area.
where we would shoot TV at. And so I'd walk down there and see the vendors and everything. Like I had no bones about it during the day, walking down there at all at any point. Like I did it multiple times and I'm so glad I did. And I even would go in early and go find like the little restaurant bars that had like all the retro stuff in it. So we could talk about this forever here. So I'm gonna wrap this up here real quick. We could talk off air, but guys, so first installment of Collector's Corner up here. My friend, tell us where everyone can reach you. Hit us with those socials, anything you want to plug.
Boom. Listen. I can hit y'all with your socials, but y'all could just check it out on One Stop Shop, All Lucha Lit on www.luchalit.com. You can check me out. Anything y'all need, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, merch is all on luchalit.com. Check it out. Come visit. Also keep supporting the podcast on here. It's a great talk. I love Brandon, man. I wouldn't, my ass would not be talking to you if I did not like you at all, like not even a little bit. But I love Brandon. Like I said, we've had so much history, so this was like easy peasy, man. Like the only difference was I was wearing my mask this time.
Absolutely. So hang tight. I have something we'll talk off air here. But guys, thank you so much for joining me here on the first installment of Collector's Corner, and we will see you on the next episode of Top of the Card, round third, and heading for home. Smoke him if you got him. Right. See you later.